to you a little bit about your sentences that you're going to use in your story. All right? And the word fluency, that just means
like having a good voice.
a good voice.
And talking like normal. There was once a pig in my house.
Okay. Well, I want you to think in terms of your story and how people, when they're reading your story, will get a really good idea of their story because of the way that you put your words together in your sentences. And I want to talk about a few ideas of things that you can use in your sentences. And I want to read a story. I want you to look for some of these ideas, these sentences in the story. Yes?
We read that in kindergarten.
Okay, well, you're going to hear it again. We're going to be listening for dialogue, and that's just conversation when people are talking to each other. We're listening for repeating patterns, okay? We're listening for questions or commands or exclamations and long and short sentences. Just listen for those things and see if you can hear some of that in this story, all right? This is the good stranger. Here is a man. He's going on a long journey. He packs some sandwiches and some water, and then he climbs on his donkey. Giddy up! And that's an exclamation point right there on giddy up. Soon he has left the town behind him. The sun is hot, and a long climb up the hills makes his donkey puff. The path winds between high rocks. It is a dark place full of shadows. I don't like it here, says the man. He has a funny feeling that someone is watching. Did you hear one of these different things, Evelyn? What did you hear? Have you heard any of those sentences like that? How about you, Jalen?
Giddy up is like a command.
It's a
Like, giddy up.
it's an exclamation. What else?
It can be an exclamation command. Like if you say, sit down, you have a question and it's a command.
That's true. That's true. And what about dialogue? Did you hear Did you hear some conversation? Okay. When I don't like it here, he said. Okay. He was talking to himself, but it was still dialogue. Suddenly there is a shout. Robbers! 3 of them. They steal his donkey and all his belongings, and they whack him on the head with his own stick.
That's
right. Poor man. He is left lying on the path. His head is bleeding, and he cannot move his legs. He lies here for a long time. Then finally, he falls asleep.
I think he's down to fall asleep.
We'll see. After a while, someone comes along the path. He is wearing fine clothes. A bishop. He stops, then hurries past, pretending not to see. Perhaps he is late for important business. Perhaps he is afraid.
Perhaps he doesn't care.
That's a good point. But did you notice how by using perhaps twice like that, then it's
repeating
a
pattern.
repeating pattern? Good. The man wakes up and starts to call for help. Ah! Here comes someone. A man in a robe. A judge. Help! Help!
Sentence.
Good. But the judge pretends not to hear and he hurries past, just like the bishop.
That looks like the Supreme Court.
You're right. The sun rises high in the sky. The man is hot. His throat is dry. But here comes more footsteps. Who is it?
Question.
Good. Oh no, it's a stranger.
But here comes more footsteps. Exclamation.
From a foreign land, he has no friends here. Why should he stop to help? It's a question, isn't it? But the stranger does not stop. He speaks kindly to the man in foreign words, and he helps him to drink some water. He washes his wounds and carefully puts a bandage around his head. Yes, Evelyn? You can just tell me from where you are.
That's the same picture as a friend.
Very good.
Machine.
Uh-huh.
I think, is this a Bible story?
It is a Bible story.
I know it says there was a man laying down on the
You're
ground,
right.
Then 2 people didn't help, but then the third one helped. It's a Samaritan.
That's right. The stranger helps the man onto his donkey. He puts his arm around him to keep him from falling off and gently leads him down the path. At the next town, the stranger finds an inn. He puts the man in bed and pays the innkeeper. Look after him, he says, until I get back.
Oh, I've seen this story.
Jesus says, which one was like a good
Question.
neighbor? The bishop, the judge, or the stranger?
Question.
Evelyn?
The stranger.
Right. Okay, and that's the end.
Yeah.
So now I want you to go back to working on your story. And as you're taking the ideas from last week and writing them in your story, and you've got your characters, I want you to think about putting some words that are a variety and using good fluency in your sentences. Okay?